Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and in-betweeners. It is your boy here to do a Lords of the Fallen game review. Now, first and foremost, W game. The game was a lot of fun to play, so let's just get that out the way. W game. Right, now, with that being said, the negatives of the game. The negatives first and then the positives last. Save the best for last, right? So the negatives of the game were this. Oh my goodness graciousness. The enemy placement in Lords of the Fallen was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. That in combination with the way the vestige seed stuff works, where you have to carry some vestige seeds on you to plant them in the flower beds to get yourself a checkpoint. Oh my goodness graciousness. Yo, if you accidentally wasted a vestige seed when there's a shrine 2 feet away that you didn't that you just had to turn around the corner to see, oh my goodness graciousness, you were down atrocious. Just going through these levels, man, there's just way too many enemies, level to level to level, right? Especially when you end up in the Phantom Zone after you die, or you go into the Phantom Zone, just to do one of the puzzles that you gotta do, to open up the next area, etc., etc. Oh my gosh, the enemies. That was the biggest negative of the game. It's just the enemy placement was way too OD. They definitely could have and should have toned down the enemy placement a bit. Where at the very least, enemies in the regular zone should not appear in the Phantom Zone. Right? Where the Phantom Zone enemies don't appear in the regular zone, it should have been the same thing for the regular zone enemies not appearing in the Phantom Zone. Otherwise, man, like, you're just swarmed. Like, if you die, or you gotta go into the Phantom Zone just to, like I said, just to open up a shortcut, open up a path, do a whatever, like a puzzle type of thing. Not like your typical puzzle, but it's really just opening up shortcuts. That's what I mean by puzzle. But yeah, just doing that, man, you get swarmed to the point where there's no point in fighting the enemies, right? You're better off just running until you get a shrine or you see a flower bed right before a boss fight. Like, that's the best thing you can do. It's just run to a shrine or a flower bed that's right in front of a boss fight. But man, if you don't see a shrine inside and you don't make it to a boss fight, man, like, and you and you die somewhere in the middle of the level, oh my gosh, like, the run back is atrocious, because you don't want to waste a vestige seed, because if you use it and then there's a shrine just around the corner, you wasted it, right? So, man, so you want to make sure you get at least to a boss fight, or what looks like it's going to be a boss. Like, don't go into the boss fight just yet, but what looks like it's going to be a boss fight, get there and then use it. But don't just willy-nilly use those vestige seeds, which is another thing. Another negative is that you had to buy the vestige seeds. I think they should have made the vestige seed a key item that you can use infinitely and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, did I just accidentally blow a vestige seed? Now I gotta grind for a little bit, get some more, and then come back to the spot. Yeah, it definitely should have been a key item for sure. Especially when you have the enemy placement be as crazy as it is in the game. Now, with all that being said though, on the flip side, ironically, even though the enemy placement is super duper crazy and that is a negative of the game, and the vestige seed not being a key item is another negative, the flip side is that the combat, when you're actually able to get a 1v1 situation going on, the combat in the game is really, really fun in Lords of the Fallen. It's really fun combat. So it's kind of ironic how the negative really plays into the positive, where okay, overwhelming enemy placement, but then when you actually have a spot where the placement isn't too crazy, it's really fun just fighting the enemies one by one and then moving through the level. And then that brings us to the second positive of the game, is that the level design area to area is pretty freaking cool, especially the changes that are in the Phantom Zone. Man, chef's kiss. So that was some very cool, very unique stuff that I've never really experienced before in a game. So I was digging. I was digging the being able to go into the Phantom Zone to open up shortcuts and paths and stuff like that. Kind of like what I call the puzzles. It's not like a puzzle, but it kind of has a puzzle vibe to it. Right. So I did enjoy that stuff within the game. And lastly, even though we were not too I don't know what the word is. Even though we were not super well versed with the lore of the game, just the bits of information that we started to pick up on were pretty interesting, and in terms of what's going on, behind the scenes, what's going on in the lore of the game, right? It's pretty interesting stuff. So that's another positive that I can give to the game, is that the lore did seem pretty interesting, and then us getting a deer ending was the cherry on top. So all in all, a W game. I would say they could have and should have toned down on the enemy placement just to make things a bit more fair, because it's definitely a bit too crazy. But other than that, chef's kiss. So I enjoyed the game. We had a lot of fun playing. Hope you guys had a lot of fun watching the highlights, watching the streams. We're doing a bit of both, whatever the case may be. And I hope to see you all for the next playthrough on this channel. So until then, take care, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, and if you love it, make sure you subscribe.